Hi Stampin' friends, tonight we're going to use the Dear Santa stamp set. It has some cute little kids and some fun sentiments that really go with the stamps. The Have a Nice Christmas. He looks like he may not be at that moment be having a nice Christmas. And then Hope Your Holidays Are Sweet. That's adorable with the little cookies. And then it says Always Love Hanging With You. I kind of feel like these little guys, I mean, I guess they're hanging ornaments on the tree, but maybe just Merry Christmas on that one. And then the Dear Santa, where the girl is furiously writing to Santa. So yeah, she's very intense. But I'm gonna go ahead and show you some designs with this and with several of our papers as well. Okay, so the first thing I kind of wanted to do is just play with some of these. I have already done a lot of coloring, of course, stamped with our Memento Tuxedo Black, and then colored with our blends. On this particular card, I used our Circles embossing folder. I don't remember what it's called. It's just the most recent one. And then this pretty Take a Bow, the paper that you're supposed to use to make bows with. Either one of these would look cute on here, but I kind of like how we can use some of this paper with either Granny Apple Green or with Old Olive. I think it kind of blends nicely with either one. And then you wouldn't necessarily have to use that. You could just use a piece of plaid embossed here, cardstock in the Old Olive, and pop it on there. That probably shows the colors that are in this the best. And to offset this, I used the Azure Afternoon, because I think a lot of times, you know, red and green is gorgeous, but you just need another color there to just kind of pop it up. I used some sentiments for Merry Christmas that are not in this set. So I just wanted, sometimes you just kind of want it to say Merry Christmas. I colored our people with bronze, and I used a little bit just to kind of give them a little, like they're having a great time. I did not finish this coloring here. I don't know if you can see. You could leave it uncolored, but also I wanted to kind of show you, it is a great way, some of these kinds of things. You'll notice when I have these bits of masking tape on my blends, a lot of times they've already been replaced. I think that they are super cute. I did try to match their pajamas. And you know, brothers and sisters, whatever, they'll get matching pajamas at Christmas. And he has some red on his, but she doesn't, but there's still plenty of red in the, because it has the ornaments are red. But when you get new ones, these old ones can still have some life added to them. When you add a little bit of alcohol, just drop it, you know, on the tip or soak the tip in the alcohol, and you don't want to get too much, and then let it sit horizontally and kind of soak in, and that can stretch it and make it go further. And then you can use it for things like this where you're not exactly coloring, you're coloring outside the lines, not inside. And that will give you a little more use out of these. And then also, that just saves money that you can buy more stamp sets, right? Okay, so there's that one. And then I also did a little bit on the inside here. I used my dark shaded spruce. Whoops, now this is my one that's broken. I have to order more. I think I stepped on it because it's split down the side. Okay, so I'm just gonna add a little bit here, and that will kind of blend out the color and add kind of a more Christmassy color. I wanted the same green because I wanted it to blend with their pajamas, but I did not want it to just be that color. I wanted a more Christmassy color in there. You can see I'm just kind of zigzagging it across there. So there you can see. I do like, if you're going to use the circle background, I do like it with these circles on the paper. I think that's really pretty. So there is that one. Oh, I forgot to mention. These are actually these stars are from the trees, which I did a few weeks ago, decorative trees bundle. And I think that that star looks kind of childlike in the Daffodil Delight and adds a little bit of whimsy to it as well. Just kind of, you know, like they're finished decorating kind of a thing. All right, so after that one, I wanted to show you these little bits of color here would be great to add to this as well, maybe in the red or whichever. That was kind of the one I thought for that. And then next up, let's see, I probably need to set this a little further away. There we go. Next up, I was going to do the Dear Santa Girl. So here she is. I colored her with just real red and a little bit of green on her shoes. And then I was trying to decide, you could use just a green background, but I kind of thought it might be cute to use just a print. This is one of the prints from the Reindeer Days paper. This is what I would consider the back side. But that would be cute on there. Then I also wanted to kind of talk about using it. Again, I'm kind of repeating this, but it gives you something that you can definitely case for your own cards and pretty easily. I know with Christmas cards, a lot of times it's difficult to do a lot of, like you may only give your fun folds to like really close friends and family, but you need to make a lot of cute cards. So I'm trying to be mindful of that and use some things that are still cute, but that are easy for you to use with your, what am I trying to say? With your Christmas cards. Okay, so this one I liked because it's all red, but I also liked this one because it is red polka dot, and it kind of is reminiscent with these berries that are on here, with the Dear Santa. And then I also considered with this one, it could be really cute to just put various bits of paper under here. Now what these papers are, when you cut a 6x6, I should have brought one over here. When you cut a 6x6 piece of paper and you want them to be the 4-inch wide across for these papers, you're gonna have a little 2-inch piece left at the end of each one of these that you cut. So a way to use these is to put them under like a square, for example, or rectangle, and just let them shine. Now I think that will show up best if I put it on here. There you can see, that makes that really easy to see the pop of it. You could use more, I suppose, if you wanted to, just kind of have them like that. And if it were smaller, like a smaller piece, you could put it, over the top and have them out. But I think this is probably the smaller one that we have. So they might need to just go on the bottom. Now, this is the real red, which this is supposed to be, but I think that sometimes the Poppy Parade looks brighter and happier with it. So I would probably use that. Now to complete this, I would probably put it over to the side like that, and of course just one of them, and let that be the card. Then I would probably add, maybe some of the ones I just showed you with the bright colors. Where did I set that? Did I set it under? I did not. Hiding it from myself. Anyway, or you could also just use some white or some beige on there. That would be pretty. Like these guys would be pretty nice and shiny. This one I'm gonna put together for you. This is the Hope Your Holidays Are Sweet. So super simple here. I'm gonna put a dimensional on each end, of course. Then I'm gonna do this, put some adhesive. And on this one, I've done kind of a similar thing. This is using our Shy Shamrock. So the point of this is to replicate the same circles that I used in that. I thought that looked really cute. And I used the same colors on her pajama bottoms, the way they're striped, in order to carry the color scheme through. All right, well, I'm gonna have to cut that clearly. All right, so you can either just stick this directly down, or you may prefer to put some dimensionals under it. If you do that, you just need one in the middle and one on each 4 corners, of course. All finished. Put that, I like to put the, if it is going a direction, I guess you could say, if it's skewed in a direction like this one, gosh, I hope you can see that, I can't tell. I like to put the main part of it at the top rather than at the bottom. And I'm gonna layer this little one on here. So just our little squares. Okay, and I'm gonna put dimensionals under this. Probably don't need a middle one in this one since it's kind of small. And then you can kind of play with this, decide where you want it. I'm gonna see how off this is. Oh, this is just too long. So let me grab that. Oh, now I'm cutting the green one. That was dumb. Now it'll be too short. But I'm just gonna put that across there and put it side to side there. And then if you wanted to, you could also put some red ribbon, or they have this really pretty, let me go ahead and cut it. That's kind of long and gangly there. You could put that under this corner up here. Let's see. Or something, just kind of tuck it under there. Wherever, maybe like that. And then I would, of course, trim them up, make them even. One way to make them, be sure that they're evenly cut, is to cut them at the same time. I'm not certain that I have the scissors. Oh, these are better. I think I must have picked this one up and I was having a little trouble with it. And then you can kind of do them like that. You could even tape them down. You can also just go across there to hold it until you get your, oh, that's not rolling. Until you get your dimensionals on there to hold it down. Just kind of, I like them a little more spread than that. Maybe put it right there. A lot of times it looks good if you follow the same distance from the edge that you were on the other one, just to kind of keep that settled. And then maybe add, I hope your holidays are sweet. You could put it down here. You could also put it right here, just wherever seems fun to you. Go ahead and do that way. There we are. And then for this one, I would definitely want to add some red, I think. Maybe put some red sparkles around her, or these guys look kind of like little cookies. They're kind of the same color, the crumb cake that I used for the cookies. But also we have these, several here. We have a lot of little things that are in the end colors. That's one of the great things about using the end colors. You can put whatever you want with them, and it just kind of looks like you've really coordinated. So like these are sparkly, and then these are not sparkly. So you have a lot of choices of what's gonna look cute. This one is actually supposed to be our garden green, but to me, this looks like the same color here as the shaded spruce. So, or maybe even the shy shamrock. So sometimes just because you think it's one color, you can imagine doing a variety of them with your card. So I will finish that up eventually. And then, oh, I did want to mention one weird thing about this set. I don't know if you guys have ever had a problem with your stamp set. I had to cut my stamp set with these are the old Crafted Rubber scissors. You can use any scissors, but I'm going to show you this with the ink on it. It is undercut, which means they have left too much rubber on the edge. Now, when that happens, you can complain and send it back to them, but that's just, you're probably going to be out shipping. And the easier thing to do is just cut that. So you can kind of see that there's no foam under this edge here. So what you do is just take your scissors and cut that off. Because what is going to be happening if you don't, you're going to end up with a lot of edges that are on the paper and showing, and that can be really frustrating. We'll just stamp with it and you'll see. So I just, put the ink on there like I normally do, and when I went to stamp, I tried not to rock it or anything, and I still caught these edges there. You can see them. So what you're going to want to do is clean it, of course. Now, sometimes I get lazy and use like a baby wipe, but this is going to be the best thing to use, our Stampin' Chamois, because it's not going to put any lint on your stamps. And sometimes if you get lint on your stamps, then when you go to stamp, you'll have a little line going across the sentiment or something, because it's the lint that's on it. So I clean that off and then try to remember where it was that you were catching edge. So I am just going along here and just trimming that off. It's pretty easy to do. And then you don't want to get too close to the sentiment, the wording itself, or this image itself. But you can just trim that right off. And then also you want to, as you're cutting, you don't want to do the same thing that happened accidentally. You want to make sure that you cut it going this way so that there's not any left over. And then you can try and ink it up again and stamp it again and see if you've done a good job. And if you have, then you're finished. And it'll save you some time later by spending a little bit of time just taking that off now. And then it will make it where it stamps a lot better for you. So I just wanted to mention that because I haven't had that happen in a very long time, probably maybe even since they first started cutting them. It's barely been an issue for me, but I did want to mention that since it happened this time. I thought, oh, if that happens to anyone else, I want them to be able to correct their own issue. All right, this little guy the sentiment is "Have an Ice Christmas," and he's clearly on the ice. I probably should have gone down here with some Pool Party and made it look like he's on an icy pond. But I also use this winter meadow paper. This is the one from last year. This may jog your memory, that carried over. So one of it has trees at the top, and then it has this icy, frosty looking bottom. And I'm not sure if it's Pretty Peacock or Shaded Spruce, but when you have trees, they should be Shaded Spruce. So I'm just hoping that that's what they are. I worked on this kind of two different ways. I considered if we put this across the bottom, and you can tie it with a knot like that. And then you want to be sure that the one that you attach is the longer piece, or the piece that you're intending. And then you can just trim these when you're finished. So that's one way. Or I'm going to go ahead and stick these down if you don't mind waiting. I'm going to put that on top because I think since that's what he's actually doing, which is skating, I think that looks kind of cute. So what I did here was just cut these to about 3 inches so that there will be a little bit of overlap, but I didn't want to waste. You could do one whole sheet, but I think it's easier to just have 2, and then you can do this same thing again, and you don't have to waste as much paper as if you had put the entire sheet of the trees under it. Okay, so then you're gonna, let's say, put him right there. So let's wind this underneath him, maybe like that. I need to trim this end. And then you can, if I can find it, use tear tape to just go across it. It's not jumping in my hand, you guys, but you're imagining what I'm saying here. You would just take the tear tape and put it across just to hold it down. And then you would pop him on top of it like that. And I think this just adds to the, I mean, I'm not an artist, but I am used to kind of repeating things and making them whatever. This, to me, this adds to the chaos of him, oh no, what's happening, when you've got things going on under him with the ribbon. And then just add the Have a Nice Christmas at the end. I just think that that turns out really sweet. All right, so now I'm just gonna show you this last one, and then we're gonna do some coloring. So if you are easily bored, that's an easy time for you to, you know, hop off or whatever. So he is colored in our boho blue, light boho blue, and he has olive and this is the plaid background, you can see. And he has olive and granny apple green here. So it would be easy also on this one to pop him a little color under here. Maybe use some more red and put one of the smaller Merry Christmases under there like that. And again, super easy and quick. I'm gonna go ahead with this one and imagine putting these guys on there. You could use the old Christmas tree, which I think is kind of fitting when they're decorating. This is actually from the Decorative Trees bundle, so that would look cute together. And I'm just gonna show you how I colored these. And oh, I forgot to show you, I thought these are the iridescent faceted gems. I think they look like ice, and I think they would have been gorgeous on this guy. Hold on. If you put it on there with that, that would be so cool, because it would add even more to the frosty look. Okay, so now I'm going to color, let's see, this is my dark lemon lolly, so she's going to have really yellow hair. Actually, let's make him the blonde here. I did one with red hair, and that was cute. I was trying to show some variety. But the problem when you make a redhead, they may not look super great with some of the reds, so you kind of have to choose accordingly with that. Right. And then I was going to make her hair, let's see, not that color, this light pecan pie. Now, I'm not sure. I think she may have a little bit of red ribbon blended into her hair, so I thought it could be cute to kind of do that here. Like that, like it's been woven in. And then the rest of it will just be her hair. I'm gonna go up here. I'm sorry, this may be a little bit dull watching me do this. When it's on the YouTube video, I will have to speed it up for sure. And what I love about these blends markers, they're great for people like me who like to scribble, because it's really no problem. But people who don't like to scribble can do a great job with them as well. But they make it look like I've really done a nice job when maybe I haven't spent as much time as I could have on it. All right, then I'm gonna do the bottom of the tree base with my dark pecan pie. That, and then I'm gonna put the light pecan pie on it as well, just to kind of keep it from getting too dark. This time I'm gonna use the green for their clothes is going to be light granny apple green. I've got a little bit of stickiness right there. I'm going to try to get up. There we are. And I think I'll make his, I'll leave a spot. I'll put red on his the image, it's kind of like there's a little design on the front of his shirt. And then the bottom of his pants, pajama bottoms, and the parts of his little sleeves there. And then I'm going to do the same thing on hers. I'll do this little ruffle that's on here. And then probably the toes. And the stripes. And this is a bright green. Kind of a Grinch green. I think it's happy. Then we'll do his. And I like to add another color to his hat because it feels like the hat should have 3 colors on it, just from the amount of detail that it has. So probably what I'll do is put the green here, the light green, on those and maybe around his face. He definitely looks like a little elf. Oops, I see a spot that I missed. And then I'm going to use the shaded spruce on these. Oh, not that end. Makes it too difficult. In the space between stripes. And then I'll put the red on the top. This is our dark poppy parade. Okay. So now I'm going to use, again, this is another good time to use some of your older blends. I'm going to put the light petal pink for her skin. I'm going to go ahead and put their cheeks on. But I'm going to turn this around. I don't want to take a chance that I don't put their cheeks in the right places. That would look so silly. Okay. Back to this. Right here, I think I got everything. I have to get his belly. Got a little bit of green on it earlier, but I think that mostly took care of it. And his hands. His face. Then I don't want to do inside his mouth. I want to use the pink on that. It looks like he's definitely talking or maybe caroling. Oh, I just got his eyes. So when that happens, if you get carried away, we have the color lifter that you can just take the color back off. Pretty simple. Hers are closed, so that's easy, but his we want to take that color back off and then put a little pink inside his mouth there. Okay, and I see a little bit there on her leg. And if I were using not an old one, it would be a lot easier for me to, there'd be plenty of color. I wouldn't have to go back. Okay, so now I'm gonna put the Poppy Parade on the ornaments. Again, I'm using real red for my card base, even though I'm using the Poppy Parade, the dark Poppy Parade for coloring. I just like the deep red and I think it looks more rich and pretty for Christmas, more a lot prettier color. Okay, so now I'm gonna go back in. Even though I've used the Granny Apple on their clothes, I'm gonna use the light, is it light? It is. Old Olive to go into the tree the first time, just to have a little bit of contrast. I don't want it to be, their clothes to be the same color as the tree. And luckily with Stampin' Up, we have plenty of greens, so that's definitely doesn't need to be an issue. Okay, I've got that pretty well. And then I'm gonna add some shaded spruce here and there, just to, and that gets it to be kind of a, you can see I'm just kind of jerking my hand back and forth just to make it look more natural that way. And it gives it, in my mind, a color that is very close to garden green. We don't have a garden green blend. And so it puts kind of the colors together and makes a garden green with that. Don't want to, kind of got a little too much there and kind of got carried away. So I want there to be some spaces that only have Old Olive and some places that only have garden green. But then I also want some to be colored darker, more like the shaded spruce, and then some that are colored darker and look more like the garden green. So there you can see the coloring on that. It was very simple and easy, something I can definitely do while watching TV. And then you can see there, I've put that together, and there's a variety of colors that would look great with this. I kind of would like these are from the Adhesive Back Dots for Days. Those would look really cute on there. I think they're still current, I'm pretty sure. They would add a deeper green, which is kind of bring out the color that's in this, but you could use any number of the background pieces that you want for this. It doesn't necessarily need to be that. This one would be really nice as well. So I will go back over these. We made this cute little card, and then we talked about using the other little guy that was doing the Ice Christmas. There, he could have been on this card. We made this one with the Ice Christmas. Oh, and of course I slid it off, of course. With the shaded spruce, where we use the colors, the shaded spruce as his outfit with some smoky slate and some real red. And then we had this little girl who hopes our holidays are sweet. So we used a lot of light girly colors on that one. And then, oops, I piled up a bunch of stuff on that one there. That was kind of silly. Then we had our letter writing girl who's really intense. And we have her. We could also, you know, we could take these and dovetail, which that means, you know, where you take a little notch out of them like a banner. The reason I didn't, number one, is time. When you're doing this, you probably want to do things that don't take very much time. And these are kind of big pieces of, you know, you can let more of the pattern show if you don't dovetail the ends. And then our first original one that we had out is this one with the, where it doesn't even use any, though we could, it doesn't use any of our pattern paper, but it's still a super cute look. It's very cost effective and also very sweet for Christmas. I appreciate you all watching, and I hope that you have some time this weekend to get some Christmas card making done and have some relaxing time. Bye-bye.